All right, y'all. I'm so very excited. I have my nephew Corey on today. Isn't he so handsome? You know, everybody relates to me. It's handsome and gorgeous. Hi, darling. How you doing?
Ah, taking it one day at a time, Buffy. Taking it one day at a time.
Oh,
Hopefully, I'll be better when I walk away from this conversation.
oh, you got some questions for TT. You got some stuff going on. Murphy's Law. Tell TT what's going on. What's going on, darling?
I got some stuff going
Okay, let
on,
me get my
Buff.
notes ready. Let me get to writing it down. Okay, go ahead, baby.
I got my pen and
Do it
pad
one at
ready
a
for
time,
everything
darling.
that
One
you
at a
about to
time.
tell me.
TTO. What's hit me with number one? What's the thing stressing you the most, darling?
um, well, I mean, this year I turned 40 this year, so um, it's a like in my opinion it's like a new season
Mm-hmm.
in life, and so I'm very much looking forward to just getting a new start. And honestly, up to this 40th birthday, my finances have for the most part been in ruins, and so
Mm.
I figure 40 would be a good time to maybe just get a fresh start. So I've very much been flirting with the possibility of filing bankruptcy
Mm-hmm.
and starting just starting over, because within like the next 3 to 5 years I would love to buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that when you file bankruptcy, there's a number of years that you have to wait before you can kind of sort of move freely. And so now recently, look, breaking news. This actually just happened within the last 2 days. I actually came back from
And
vacation.
where were you?
I came,
And where was you at? Oh, Jamaica. Okay, you was in Jamaica, cutting up, drinking some rum punch, and doing what? All the
that's
things.
ex- that's exactly what I was drinking the whole time. But I was in Jamaica, and I got back from Jamaica, and I get back like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I take a Uber to my car.
Mm-hmm.
I get to my car, and there's no car.
What you mean? What you mean? Ain't no car? Somebody stole your car, baby.
That's what I thought originally. And so I'm like, okay, well, let me just make sure nobody stole my car. So I called the Philadelphia Parking Authority to make sure, because I knew that it was probably the parking authority, but Philly is Philly be real crunk.
Wait a minute,
So
Corey. What you mean you knew it was probably the parking authority? What you mean? What you mean by that? You don't scroll back to that. What you mean you thought it was probably the parking? So you parked somewhere your behind was supposed to park.
worse, Buffy, worse. Like I
Uh-uh.
have years. Now this is a safe
It
space,
is
right?
very
This
much
is
safe,
this is
but I'm
judgment
still your
judgment free, but
auntie.
you can still get on me.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a years long history of parking tickets. And I
Oh.
have been a fugitive on the run, we can say. And so basically, they finally kind of sort of
Caught up with you.
caught me.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that it's going to take to get my car out is like astronomical.
Really.
And the car isn't even worth that. You know what I mean? So it's now that question that I posed in the beginning is even more prevalent, because it's like, do I spend $2,000 to get the car back when the car isn't even worth half of that? But I also still have like 10 or 11 months left on the car
But
loan.
how
But
much
I'm
how
like,
much is the loan? Sorry to interrupt you, nephew. How much is the balance of the loan?
it's about close to
So
$4,000.
you're upside down in the car, which most people are, because they depreciate as soon as you drive off the lot.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Hmm.
So I'm like, I don't want to pay for a monthly car payment if the Philadelphia Parking Authority has now auctioned it off and somebody else is driving the car. So I'm like, I should roll that into bankruptcy as well. So it's just a mess.
All right.
Help.
You
And like I said, this just
I'm sorry,
happened two
darling.
days
And you
ago.
just had you a good vacation and come home and Murphy's Law is like boom in your face.
Isn't that a
It's
terrible way to come back from
horrible. It's
vacation?
absolutely awful. And I'm so
Oh,
sorry, darling. I'm so sorry.
thank you.
So again, this is a safe space, but I'm still your auntie and gonna get you all stay together. Okay. So prepare, right? Prepare.
Let's go.
All right. I love you and I'm sorry this happened. Okay, so number one, um, whenever people used to come to me when I was in practice and mention the bankruptcy word, I would always tell them the following. I don't like it when my nieces and nephews cut off their arm for a mosquito bite. And I hope that
Hmm.
resonates with you. So
Hmm.
if there is a lot more debt, Like, if you're comfortable, let Auntie know if it's a lot more than just the car, or is there just a little bit more in addition to the car? Like,
Honestly, I would probably say that it's just a little bit more. Like there's just a couple of uh smaller credit cards and like a handful of I also don't know how filing for bankruptcy affects like collection accounts.
mm-hmm.
So I would want to rope in just those couple of credit cards and then whatever collection accounts would be eligible. So
And so you feel like it's really not like $100,000 or $50,000 or like 30. It's not an astronomical amount of money, these little small accounts, when you add them all up.
no, I wouldn't say it's a action. I mean, because obviously you can't do student loans, which is a whole different
No,
question.
yeah.
But yeah, no, the regular debt is not into the hundreds of thousands. No.
Is it half of that?
Probably like 20.
Yeah, I don't like bankruptcy for you, nephew. I don't.
Okay.
Auntie would consider that chopping your arm off for a mosquito bite. There,
Mosquito
there,
bite.
there are 8 million different ways from Sunday to deal with those little nagging collections. There's legislation that's coming to get rid of stuff. I don't know how old some of them are. If it's getting on to 5, 6, once it's at 7 years, a lot of that stuff is just gonna magically fall off of your credit report. And I know you
Hmm.
have the goal of in 5 years purchasing a home. I would say no to bankruptcy, yes to this program called NACA, NACA.org.
Mm. Hmm.
And NACA is this it's a free nonprofit. Like, you can use this service. And what they will do is they will take a look at your 3 credit bureaus. They're going to sit down with you and they're going to say, this is what you need to do. So in 5 years, we can have you prepared to buy a house. And the good thing about NACA is they do the loan themselves there. It's not like they're going to get you ready and
Hmm.
then make you go somewhere else. They, Bank of America and a number of other banks underwrite their products, and they give you 30-year fixed, low interest rates, zero down programs. It's amazing. And I've had lots
Hmm.
of clients when I was in practice over my 20 years who've used this program. Now, I will tell you, a lot of people don't like the hoops you have to jump through, but so what? Jump through them hoops. They're going to make you attend some meetings. They're going to make you bring your bank statements and your credit card statement, do all the stuff, but you need to learn about all that anyway. And instead of going and
Yeah.
paying some bankruptcy attorney money you don't have right now, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
To get away a mosquito bite worth of debt and then put yourself back 7 years because of a bankruptcy, which is going to alter you from your plan of buying a house within 5 years. I would rather you use the NACA program. And they're going to sit with you and they're going to say, oh, these little small collections, we can write or get rid of this. We can do that. And it's free, darling. It's absolutely
Okay.
free. Gratis. You ain't got to
Okay.
pay them nothing. You just got to put up with calling them back and scheduling. They'll assign you a counselor and you just stay on them. So what? Anything that's free is worth you staying on them people and jumping through hoops, right? If in the end you can get
Sure.
a very low interest rate and achieve your goal of cleaning up your credit and buying a house without having to chop your whole arm off for bankruptcy. I think a lot of people jump to bankruptcy because they hear, like, Trump and all these people have filed 8 million times. They was getting rid of millions of dollars of bankruptcy. We ain't trying to be like them. It seems like have a lot of debt, but there are a lot of ways that you can work toward a plan with the guidance from NACA to help get that stuff paid off. And they also, what I love too, is they teach you about the value of home ownership, in that when you buy a house, ain't nobody to call when stuff break down. So they teach you
Yeah.
about saving for all that stuff. Like right now, we don't
Yeah.
we don't have a safety net, because if you had an emergency safety net, you would pay the $2,000 and just get your car out, right? Right.
Right.
And it's okay. A lot of us don't. We are starting, and you're being open and honest and vulnerable. And I appreciate you for doing so, because you're going to help a lot of people, because a lot of people are
Yeah.
in your same situation, darling. And so, we're going to start from today, and we're going to reach out
Hmm.
to NACA, and we're
Yeah.
going to go to,
Okay.
and we're going to jump through the hoops, and we're going to let them look at our whole situation, and we're going to figure out. We're going to call the who is it with the city? Do they negotiate? I don't know. Auntie just asking. Do they negotiate? They don't. You just got to pay the whole amount. They ain't negotiating nothing, or they'll sell your car.
Yes, they will.
And
Yes,
how
they
long do they give
will.
you?
Ultimately it's 30 days, but of course every day that it's in there,
They
it's
add
racking up
more. They
storage
add more.
fees.
They add
So
more.
it's like that becomes even more of a question of whether or not it's worth it to get. But like in terms of like the car being in there, it's like I just don't know. Like is it would it be counter? Do you think it would be counterintuitive for me to get, or I guess surrender the car, but then I'm still paying on a car that I don't have. Like, and that's why I talked about the bankruptcy. Like,
Yeah,
I
but how much
just,
is a car payment a month, darling? I mean, I understand car payments are a pain in the behind, but you got what, 11 months left on it?
yeah, well, the car payment is about $400 a
Yeah,
month, but
that's
the thing is, I
significant.
have to get another car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to get another car. So it's like I can't make a new car payment and be paying on a car that I don't even have anymore. So that's why I'm like, I don't know what direction I should go with this. And I literally have to make this decision within the next
But you know if
probably 7 days.
yeah, you know if you file bankruptcy, who gonna give you a car loan? Fair point.
Yeah,
Fair point, right? If you file for
yeah,
bankruptcy, who gonna give you a car loan, right?
yeah,
So it's kind of like, you gotta decide. There's no way we can, like, so if you would have gotten the car would have been fine. You'd have been fine with paying the car off in 11 months, right?
yeah.
You sure you can't call them and ask them for an extension? You sure
I
that
went yesterday. I went
and
yesterday
they
and had a whole hearing.
and they said
Yeah.
absolutely not. We want our $2,000 and counting.
Yeah, because that was actually dropped down from 2,600.
So you did
So,
negotiate a little bit now, and there
hmm,
ain't no way we
yeah,
can scrounge up $2,000. I'm just asking.
yes, but
Uh-uh.
y- within the next 7 days or 14 days, again, that number, that storage fee is just stacking up and stacking up and stacking up. So, I'm gonna try. I am gonna try. I
Auntie would
think I'm going to go the direction of trying to get the
Yes.
car out.
I would say, Auntie would say, do what you can to save your car. Because it's going to be paid
Okay.
off in 11 months. And then you got a
Yeah.
car with no payment, which going to make you then in a better position to achieve your goal of buying a house in 5 years.
Right.
Instead of, I'm going to file bankruptcy to get rid of this $400 a month car payment because I had tickets and I can't pay the 2000 and counting fee to get the car out that I was about to own in 11 months, because there is some
Right.
value in that. The car is worth
Right.
it. The car may
Right.
not be in your mind of Kelly Blue Book value worth the $2,000, but it is because it crank up every day and carry you where you need to go. Does it not?
Amen.
Right? So we need to figure out what we can do to save this car, start parking correctly. Love you. I say that with love. I do. Start parking correctly and quit racking up these damn tickets. Okay? Titi, love you. Save your car. Do not file back. The bankruptcy gonna cost you more than paying for the car. A bankruptcy attorney gonna
Right.
cost you about $3,000-$4,000. Like all these variables, it's like it's not worth it. Figure out how
Right.
to save your
Right.
car, darling, because you
And
gonna.
on that subject,
No,
sorry,
go ahead.
in terms of it not being worth it, that was one of the, well, I guess we kind of already crossed that bridge because one of the things that I had in mind as well was to hire a financial expert, to kind of sort of coach, very much like yourself to, get me back on the right track. But I'm like, for somebody who is already in debt, I'm like, do we think that that's counterintuitive to be paying somebody to, give me the proper coaching to, get back on the right track?
You
I think that has been answered
Yeah, it is.
with cousin Naka
Yes, it
here.
is counterintuitive. We're gonna go the free route, the tried and true,
Okay.
where I've had probably no less than 100 clients over the years go through this program and successfully buy their first home, and had great experiences with it. And yes, it was work to go through, and you got to get they give you a financial counselor for free. So why you need to go pay
Mm,
somebody? And then when you get
right.
yourself in a place where you're starting to save again and start doing investments,
Mm,
you come on back and ask TT. I got you. There are robo investing apps
mm,
out there. It's all kind of stuff. And you ain't got to pay nobody, baby. That's why you got Auntie. Okay. So we're going to save our car. We're going to try to save our car. We're not going to believe the hype that
yes.
it's just going to magically be sold in 7 days. They ain't going to, child. Ain't nobody got no
Yeah.
money? You think you're the only person that's scraping up some money right now? Child. We're going to figure out how to save our car, because there's value in having
Right.
a car that's paid off within less than a year. There's a lot of value in
Yes.
that. And
Yes.
we ain't filing bankruptcy because we might about to get shout out to bankruptcy attorneys. Y'all are great, but not this nephew. Not my nephew. Nope. We're not about to put no good money at bad, file no bankruptcy for no little mosquito bite of debt. Nope. We're gonna go to NACA. They're gonna put a plan together. They're gonna help us write letters, and we're gonna get this stuff taken care of so in 5 years we can purchase a home. Right? That's what we're gonna do.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
You
ma'am.
got any
Yes,
other
ma'am.
questions for TC?
Um, yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like a big reason of kind of how I get into so much financial debt is because I suffer from
Uh-huh.
FOMO, fear of. I mean, look, this was a perfect example. Going to Jamaica. Now, could I have made a different decision? Sure. Well, all of my best friends, we all turned 40 this year, so everybody wanted to go on a different vacation.
Mm.
Um, and so I'm just trying to figure out where I should draw the line between saying no to some things
Mm-hmm.
versus not missing out on life completely. And I always have trouble drawing that line because like they always say, like, look, you gotta live for today because tomorrow isn't promised. And I don't want to be so hell bent on save, 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 save today. If and I don't say that to be
No,
reckless,
I
but
get
I
it.
also just don't want to be like, oh no, I can't do this. I gotta say, oh no, I can't do this. I gotta say, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm just trying to figure out where to draw the line between some of those social activities and miscellaneous
Mm-hmm.
expenses that I'm paying that kind of sort of further entrench me into this grave of debt.
I want you to be, and thank you for your question. I want you to be able to live your life. Auntie, it's
Mm,
crawl before you ball, not crawl and never ball, right? Okay. And
yeah.
so all that means is you have to budget for the fun. You have to budget for your wants as well as your needs. And so I always recommend go through your last 3 months bank statements, credit card statements, cash receipts, and determine what are needs and what are wants. And
Mm,
you got to figure out what a need is. A need is something you have to live, right? A roof over your head, water, food, clothing, not name
yeah.
brand clothing, but clothing to cover your arse. So when you out in these streets, you ain't getting no ticket or get arrested by the police, right? Wants
Hmm.
are desires. That's going on trips with our friends, which is totally fine. Auntie's not judging you for that. You turn 40. That's a milestone in your life. Have fun. But you
Yeah.
should have budgeted for that. And so then you wouldn't feel
Hmm.
bad about it, right? And so now what we're gonna
Hmm.
do is when we do this 3 months and we go through all these expenses, like you said, we categorize what is miscellaneous. When you look at the miscellaneous stuff, you're gonna say, going to get coffee this morning, was that a need or a want? Because did I have coffee at the house? And occasionally I want to go for the social fulfillment of being at a coffee shop. So let me like budget however many times a month I can go do that. Budgets give you freedom. People think that budgets are restrictive. They're not. They're a roadmap to your financial success. You don't just budget your needs. You budget what I want to do in life. I want to be able to go on a
Hmm.
trip twice a year or 3 times a year. I want to be able to go kick it with my friends and go out to the club or drink or whatever. Well, put it in your budget. Treat it like it's a bill. Have a separate account where you allocate that money just for that and you don't touch it and you use it for that. Then you won't have the fear of missing out. Then you won't have to always be telling people, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. This is what's in my budget and this is when I can hang out. And anyway, keep people out your damn business anyway. You could just say I'm unavailable that day, right? That's the other thing. We be
Hmm.
telling people too much our damn business. Okay. We don't got to tell people I ain't got it. We can say I'm
You
busy.
right.
I'm busy and you are
You right.
busy. I'm busy saving for my damn house. Right?
Right.
Right? And then that takes
Right.
some of that
Right.
out. And then don't be at the house worried about that. You think of your short and long term goals. And crawl before you ball is all about doing what you have to do now so you can do what you want to do later. Right?
Right.
It's, it's
Right.
it's all about delaying gratification, and that's okay. And we live in this instant gratification society where everybody thinks everything needs to be instant and da 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 da. That ain't the way the world works. And when you change your mentality about that, you will change your mindset with money, and you will start to make money work for you and not the other way around, nephew. Okay,
That's powerful.
good. I'm
That's
glad.
powerful.
I'm glad.
Okay. Okay. Can I ask one
Yes,
more
you can ask me
question
whatever you
before
want,
we
darling. You got me here.
so I talked about student loans
Uh
earlier.
huh. You ain't paid them for.
Admittedly,
Mm-hmm.
they haven't even been touched.
Okay. Okay.
Like and I kind of sort of cringe at where to even start that process. I graduated probably about 7 years ago, and like many other people in the country, the student loans, they ain't going
Oh, a lot
nowhere.
of
And
people.
sure,
Yeah.
sure enough, they are sitting right there, kind of waiting for me. And I've heard so many horror stories from people in terms of how much they're
Mm-hmm.
paying a month in
Mm-hmm.
student loans. And I'm like, I'm barely able to keep my head above water with the expenses that I have,
Mm-hmm.
let alone adding an additional, some people saying five and six and seven,
Mm-hmm.
$800 a month. Like that is
Insane.
inconceivable to me. So I don't know where to even begin with beginning to attack the student loan debt situation.
Are the loans private or are they government loans or a mix?
Say that one more
Are
time.
they private loans or are they government loans?
It's a mix.
Okay. And I asked that, you know why? Because, hopefully if certain administrations and Congress acts right, then we can actually get rid of wipe out student loan debt, which they need to do in this country. It's ridiculous that our country makes people pay to go to college. It's a silly thing. And Auntie can get on a soapbox for that forever. But yes, we do have to pay our
Say it again for the people in the
right.
back.
It's crazy that folk got to pay. But you know what? Also, I wanted to say first, congratulations on graduating, because you know what? A lot of people have student loan debt and ain't got no degree to go with it. So congratulations, nephew, on that graduation. You said that and didn't,
Thank
and
you.
it's kept on moving. That is worth celebration as well. So,
Thank you.
mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we got to pay them folk back, baby. But I'm going to tell you this,
Yeah.
NACA will be great at helping you figure that out. They'll help you put a plan
Okay.
together. They'll help negotiate. They'll help make it be something that you can make tolerable. And again, you're going to have to do it to achieve this goal of buying a house one day. They ain't going to let you get no house when you got these people student loans and you dodging and playing them. So, once we get the car paid off, then that's $400 a month. You ain't got to spend any more on that. We're going to make sure we do regular maintenance and oil changes and keep the tires and all the stuff on the car so we can keep her running, and we don't have to get a new car, and then we can allocate that $400 that we had for the car to a student loan payment, right?
That is really that is real. I'd never even thought about that,
We
actually.
almost done with that in 11 months. That's why we need to make sure we save this vehicle, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, look, I think you've answered most all of my question. The bankruptcy was probably the most prevalent that I had, like I said, especially because of what has just happened
Yeah.
within the last couple of days.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna call cousin Naka,
Yep.
as you said.
Get on the line. Get her on the line. Yes.
And try and sort through this, because like I said, I don't want to be in a new decade still doing old decade things.
I feel you. I feel you. And
You
just
know.
remember the value in saving the car. It's going to be paid off. And as long as I keep
Yeah.
regular maintenance and stuff on, I got a vehicle that takes me where I need to go that is paid off. That is very valuable, darling. It's very
Yeah.
valuable. It is.
Yes.
Yeah. I
Well, thank
thank
you
you
so
so
very
much too, darling. Now you make
much.
sure you follow up with my team and let me know what happened. And when you get your car paid off, Auntie want to know. And if you got in touch with NACA and all the things, I mean that. I'm not playing. Okay.
I really will.
All right.
I'm absolutely going to do it.
Good. All right. Thank you so much. And if you have a question like my nephew Corey, text CBYB to 404 737 1091.